Alright, so this is just a quick test to see if I can do this. I don't know if I can. I probably won't be able to. But in the fun of things and then the hobby, I'm going to test out this iron and see exactly how far I can solder. Don't mind my cat in the background, he's a little annoying. Boom. Ha. Not the prettiest thing in the world, but that's got to be the longest solder that I've ever made. Boom. Just playing around. Gotta have some fun outside of the original fun that you have in this hobby. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Thumb FPV. Today I'm going to go over something that I don't normally talk about. I have not talked about at all. Soldering irons. Now, I'm only bringing this up because I'm only talking about this because I had the misfortune of actually screwing mine up. And I don't mean like I broke the tip or I cracked the case or I pulled the plug out sideways. I had what I thought was the original or the updated firmware for the TS100, and it turned out that it was something else, even though it still went in. Now my TS100 soldering iron does not work the same way anymore. It heats up to 405, which the firmware update is supposed to update it to 450. Literally stays there, and even with the gyro moving, it just shuts itself off after 3 minutes. I do not know how to fix this thing, so I went ahead and I got a new soldering iron, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So the soldering iron that I'm talking about today is called, looks like it's a goofy way of spelling Sequre. It is S-E-Q-U-R-E. I've seen this on Race Day Quad's website. It was like $35 or something like that. And the thing that caught my attention on it was that it actually went up to 500 degrees Celsius right out of the box. And that's great. Do you need 500 degrees? No. But sometimes it's good to have. When you're soldering, you got a pre-soldered, all-in-one, 4-in-1 ESC, and you don't like the way that the wires are coming off of it. Prime example, your Hobby Wing X-Rotor 80 amp. They have the wires coming straight off the side. I like mine to go up. And if you have a little guy like this, regardless of how thick the tip is, if you're not able to get over 400 degrees, you're not going to get that melt. You're going to sit there and melt a little bit, use the solder sucker. Melt a little bit, use the solder sucker. Or do what I did and finally just literally snip it off and then desolder what was left over because it just was not working. Anyway, we have this. So I got this today, and I'm going to do an unboxing / demonstration on this today because this looks like a really neat item. I did not get it from Race Day Quads, however. I went to the actually Sequre website and bought it. And they also give you guys know, messing with this, I know a lot of you have this. The tips for it, I mean, they're not expensive, but $10 a pop. That can add up really quick. For the tips for this, they're $1 a piece. $1. And they literally give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 of them. So $7 for 7 tips as opposed to $70. So we got the tips to check out today as well as the soldering iron. We're going to get right into this. Okay, so to get right up in on this, we have our busted TS100. I never thought I'd see the day that I did that. Highly disappointed in myself. That is very, very good soldering iron. I have had that thing for 2 years, and overall it has never let me down. Yet, here I go. I'm the one that breaks it. Anyway, today, I'll try to show you guys here real quick these tips. Angled chisel tip. Here's one. Nice solid point right there. Needle point. There's 2. It's a flat chisel head, unlike the angled one we just had. There's 3. Now this is a round flat head here. Be good for the XT60 pads. Here's a domed sort of needle point. There's a smaller circle point. Be good for like an XT30. Maybe the ESC pads. And then there's just like a flat, like standard screwdriver tip. Kind of thick. But the same idea. And that's what we have for tips. I have the soldering iron here itself. Get this open here. See what's in the box. Sounds like those new chip bags. Shit's annoying. Alright, so here we go. We have the Sequre. This doesn't have a particular model number on it because I'm pretty sure for the time being that they only make one of these. But anyway, if you make something good, you only need one of it. You don't need 10 different models. So open this up. Make some stuff fall out of the bottom. What do we have here? Oh, a little pad. Stand for the soldering iron. Okay. That empty box. Here is the actual soldering iron itself. I love the grip on it. The grip on it is very nice. It's a very soft, I don't know what to compare it to. It's nice. It's nice. Kind of like, let's see, rollerblade wheels. You know, the good ones, like an ABAC 9 or something like that. Nice and soft. There, if your hands are sweating, it's not going to slip too much. And there are little grippies. You can see them right there. Alright. So, it also looks like it has a decent length of cord with it. There's instruction manuals here. That one is all Chinese. American packing list. Just a quick overall view. Pretty sure that's not anything that we're going to need to read, but I will double check here in a second. Have our stand. There's the extra tip that it does come with. It's an angled chisel point. The one that's on it is the ball needle point, similar to the one that's in the pack of 7. And then this here is our stand. They could not have went any cheaper on this. This is literally just die punched out. So this, when this bends back and forth too many times, it's done. I'm definitely gonna look and do another stand for this, but not bad. Can't complain. I wish they would have had something for it to be on the soldering iron itself. Yet, as much as I say that, when it comes down to using this on here at all the wrong times, it gets in the way and I end up ripping it off. So, tomato, it's a toss-up. 6 of one, half a dozen of another. So, here we go. Sequre. That's what we have right there. That is it unboxed. I'm going to get into setting it up. Okay, so before I actually get this thing on and going, I want to take a quick look at it and see exactly how this thing works. On the end right here we have our tip. Looks like there's a support shaft here. We're going to unscrew it. Slide this off. Here's our piece. This sits right down over the ceramic tip. I don't know how I quite feel about that. That could snap. I wish it would have came down more over the metal, or the metal would have extended out past it. But that's what it is. So there's that. I did notice there's a grip here too, so I'm kind of thinking this also comes off. It does. Slides up. You can get inside, do whatever. I don't know. I'm not going to mess with it. I did take a quick look over it though, and there is no USB port, which means there's no firmware update for your soldering iron, which is ridiculous. Like, I get it, that's cool. It leaves, you know, it open for people to be creative and everything like that, but some things just need to be left alone. Like, somebody tells me there's an update for my toothbrush, I'm gonna throw the damn thing in the garbage. Alright, so there is that. I'm gonna bring the stand over here. Set this up like so. Make sure you do this cord. Stretch it out. There's a good decent amount of it. Alright, this will go about so. The cord is still kind of tense. It's not fully unraveled yet. Plug this in like so. Alright, nothing just came on automatically yet. We have our power button here. One click turns on to 25 degrees Celsius. Alright, so to get this started here, the temperature settings on this. First you want to press, after you hit the power button, turn this on. Once you long press the K2 button, which is the middle button here, to enter the temperature settings, and then continue to press it to put it to where you want to be. It's where it's Celsius. We're at 500 degrees. Back it down with the K1. Pretty easy. So while that's heating up, I'm going to get my solder. We're almost there. We're at 350, 365. It does take a little longer than the TS100 to heat up. We also have our little practicing pad right here to work on. Grabbed a piece of two-sided tape to keep it up off the table. We are at 500. Alright, so just a quick start up here. We definitely want to get some solder to the tip of the iron. Pre-tin the iron. That is not wanting to stick. Maybe these tips don't need it. That'd be great. It looks like they are pre-coated. I'm an idiot. Anyway, let's try this real quick. So I have a pad here. I'm going to go for the one right in the middle. Myself personally, I do not use any flux. I think it's a waste of time. If you know how to solder, you know how to solder. I get the pad nice and warm. Usually solder it for about 10 seconds to heat it up. Then I add this in over the space of 5 seconds. Whatever I'm doing, nice and slow. Let it sit. Give it nice, lots of heat to cure. And just slowly pull away. Nice shiny bead. Again, there's probably a lot of people that would argue with this, but that's to each their own. I don't really care. This is how I do it. Boom. Just enough to let it heat up and pull back. Do need to clean my tip off. That one's a little icky. Also, 500 is a bit much, so I'm going to take and just back this down. Not too sure why it blinks like that. It's waiting on the temperature to drop. Let's see here. Alright, we are down to 400. Gonna try this on a regular pad right here again. Warm it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nice and warm. Add the solder. Let it sit. These pads are not the best, obviously. Alright, I'm going to try this on a different spot. Make sure I have something under this. It doesn't leak through. Try a normal pad. Also clean this real quick. That should be good. Boom. Nice neat dot. like once you get welding in the same area, you don't have to wait so long for the next pad to heat up as much. It's basically already preheated. Handy little thing on a 4-in-1 ESC, even though I'm not a fan of 4-in-1 ESCs as of lately. I much prefer the Pro build. Well, damn. I just did exactly what I didn't want to do. Oh well, tablecloths are cheap. I am though going to take this, put it over here. I'm gonna try this big pad out. See if I can just glop right up like a nice XT60 cord pad for your battery to come in on. Give it a couple more seconds to warm up. And just fill it. Boom. I do like the bigger tip on this. I do think it heats up maybe not as fast as the TS100, but you actually got something to hold on to. The TS100 is kind of small, which that can be good, it can be bad. I also like how this doesn't have the attached stand to it as well. And you don't have to have it that way, but bam. Yeah, this thing works really nice. And for the price, you can't go wrong. I mean, there's like $28. You go to the actual website. Soldering is key. You know, a lot of guys just buy and fly. Some of us like to build. Some of us just do it if we have to repair. I love building quads. This is a very, very fun part of this. I almost like building more than flying, but again, I do not use any flux. I have not prepped this in any way. I got this out of a Get FPV crate a long time ago when I first started this hobby and just never used it. And I got this new iron now. I was like, oh man, I want to try this out, show people on the channel what it is. Some of you guys may have this already. I wouldn't be surprised. But I mean, this is very nice. That is a little gray. The holes, the ones with the holes don't like to pad up so much. Actually, maybe could use some tin on those. Let's try a longer pad here. You just fill it right up. Bam. Bam. And just turn it off. Alright, so that's my new toy for the week. This is the Sequre soldering iron. This thing is really neat. I like it. If you're in the hobby, you know soldering is something that you definitely have to do. I mean, you could send it in and have, you know, somebody work on it for you, but what the hell you want to do that for? You have no experience that way. Alright, we're going to get into some of the other settings on this here real quick. So hold down K2, Fahrenheit, Celsius, Fahrenheit, Celsius, and then just set it for whatever you want. Boom. Good to go. That's how you change the temperature on it. There we go. There's your sleep settings right there. I like mine to take a minute, so you can go all the way up to 30 seconds with it before it starts to cool itself down. Save it. There we go. Alright, so this is the Sequre soldering iron. It has temperature that goes all the way up to 500 degrees. You can change the mode on your Celsius, Fahrenheit with a couple clicks. It's all in the manual. And then you can change your sleep timer settings on it as well. Decent little soldering iron. I'm not going to get too much into all the specs of it. Turn it on, solders. That's what it does. Nice shiny little dots there. Some of the longer ones, I pulled back on them. They could have used a little more heat. I also should have used the angle chisel tip on those to provide more even heat throughout instead of heating it up and then dragging the heat away from it and letting it cool down faster at one and then the other. But it is what it is. Just wanted to show you guys this real quick. So that is it. If you guys are looking for a new soldering iron, you get tired of the TS100, or you're just getting into the hobby and you need something and you either don't have a whole ton of money to spend, or B, don't have a whole lot of space for a whole soldering station, I would recommend this fresh out of the box. Works pretty good. Buttons may have been a little bit buggy. It also may have been me. It says long hold. There's no specific long hold and short hold. There's no specific percent of time or amount of seconds that it's stating to hold it down for. It just says long hold. So I guess kind of like play with it and use your own judgment, and whatever works for you is what works. But I'm definitely going to enjoy this. I got a couple projects here that I'm getting ready to finish up. One of them is the DigiHex. I literally had that all the way done, and one of the ESCs popped on it. Still, we have the small baby and the Shen drones thick to finish up here shortly. So I can't wait to get into that and check those out as well. If you guys have any questions or anything about anything that went over on this, feel free to leave a comment in the description below, and I'll answer you as soon as I can. I do normally answer questions in the morning every day, so I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Hope you guys like this. Thanks for watching Thumb FPV. I'll have another video up soon.